It's preview season! I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. I should really check if I'm in frame before I start recording. Haven't waxed my hair today either. Couldn't be fucking bothered. Everyone's favourite set that sounds like a soap opera is right around the corner. I can't play too much of that actual theme song because I get stung for copyright strikes, probably. I lost 160,000 monetized views over the last 2 weeks. 100,000 of those was for using 8 seconds of Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song. So that meme is dead to me now. Dead to me! We had Sarah the Benevolent and the Cabal Therapist already. I think I spoke about them in a previous video, maybe my hype video around things I want to see in the set. But now we've got our first wave of actual spoilers. We've got commons, we know that Replicate, Kicker, Cycling, Convoke are all in the set, as well as Storm and Changeling. This is going to be a packed and highly complicated set, akin to perhaps Modern Masters 1 or Time Spiral. In terms of the draft archetypes and power level, I am hyped. With the inclusion of cycling cards like Choking Tethers, I mean, I would like to now get hyped and excited about the idea of an Astral Slide reprint, because I've wanted that card to be in Modern for quite some time. The problem is that with the leaks, we know there's a better version of Astral Slide coming. Now, I know people are upset about the leaks and don't want people to talk about them. I get it. I get that leaks are bad. Leaks are bad. They're bad for the company, Wizards of the Coast. They're bad for content creators who want to, preview those cards. I'll be gutted if my preview cards got leaked too. And I saw that people were getting very pissed off with that Saffron Olive as well for talking about these leak cards. For example, the Astral Slide, because he's excited to brew with it. Whilst I understand that we want the narratives of War of the Spark to be a narrative without spoilers, because it's sequential, story sequential spoilers, and we also don't want creators to miss out on the hype, and also for well, that's the main thing, right? Creators to miss out on their preview cards. We can't ignore leaks when they happen. People didn't buy Mocus and Flat S early enough, and now the card is obscenely expensive because people ignored the Karn leak in War of the Spark preview season. What I'm trying to say is that my official stance is that I'm going to avoid talking about leaked cards for the most part. I only talk about officially spoiled or officially previewed cards. The Astral Slide being the exception here to make a point. But I don't see why people are getting so annoyed at other creators and other people talking about them, because we can't ignore that they don't exist. You will miss out on cards. The average player will miss out on buying a card at a lower price, which seems like the greater good, right? The more people that miss out or get hurt by it is the thing we should worry about, not the couple of creators that will get hurt, or a multi-million-dollar company not having their spoiler season give the order they want it to. What I'm trying to say is the whole leak argument has more nuance and more sides to it than simply fuck you Saffron Olive, even if his beard is worse than mine. This mill card with Replicate isn't super exciting, but once again Seb McKinnon continues to create abstract art that allows Magic to be more than just photo-real depictions of superhero-esque characters doing battle. I'm not complaining about Magic's art in general, as it's beautiful and miles better than pretty much any other game on the market, but McKinnon is in a league of his own, creating this provocative, beautiful, arguably thought-provoking pieces of art that bring something different to MTG. They're so good. The inclusion of Changeling as a mechanic in this set, and not just as one-off card, we've seen like 3 or 4 of them now being previewed at the mocks. That to me smells like we're going to have tribal synergies. Now, Changeling last showed up in Lorwyn, where it originally was used to pad out the tribal synergies in the draft format, and then we saw it come back again in Modern Masters 1 to do the same thing, to pad out the tribal synergies. We have some goblins in the form of Goblin Matron and Goblin War Party, so it's safe to say that Red is getting Gobbo support in that vein. But before we theorise on the other tribes, let that sink in for a moment. We're getting Goblin fucking Matron. She's a key part of the engine that makes the Legacy deck tick, alongside Ringleader, and Goblin Lackey. The number crunch leaves room for the Goblin Lackey as well, so we might get the Modern Goblins deck that I got hyped about in my last Modern Horizons predictions video. Fuck yes. The green tribe is probably elves, let's be honest. The only rare we've seen from green so far is a Deranged Hermit upgrade or fix, I guess. I think this card in cube is going to be better for the ramp decks, the value decks, and the opposition decks, and a little bit worse for the reanimate deck, but on the whole, it has Vanishing 3 as opposed to Echo. I think it's actually better. This guy is an elf, and we've also had the other card, don't write it down, oh yes, Elvish Fury at common. It's a common trick that references elves and their fury, so I'm assuming that elves are going to be the green tribe. This means we might see legacy cards like Quirion Ranger or Wirewood Symbiote, or we might see Pauper staples like Priest of Titania. This means that modern elves, just kind of like a tier 2 deck, could really be one of the most powerful creature decks in the format if we get these loop engines online with visionaries and stuff like the legacy deck can do. Get Trixie and be cool, and I'd happily play that deck. In white, black and blue, it's not really clear what tribe we'll see yet. The art and flavour text for some of the cards like Choking Tethers, I think it's called, Prohibit, and the new Force of Negation, smacks of like wizards to me. I mean, obviously the wizards are normally depicted on the counterspells anyway, but I would like to see some wizard tribal that might make wizards a real deck. The blue-red wizards deck in modern, or maybe something more tricksy and combo based off of like Azami, Lady of Scrolls and stuff like that. Also means that wizards can splash into Grixis colours too, because we know like Grixis traditionally is the colour of wizards. Prohibit is a solid counterspell that could see some fringe modern play in the same vein that we see Disdainful Stroke now and again in the format. It's great in the early game and against efficient threats and answers that modern primarily uses, but it's versatile enough to counter bigger spells in a pinch. It won't define any archetypes, it won't make a huge splash, but I can see it seeing some fringe play. Force of Negation, on the other hand, is by far the most exciting preview yet, and might be one of the best and most exciting cards in the entire fucking set. So it's fair to say at the moment we aren't getting Force of Will, which is fair enough. There is a fear that such a card would make Infect and other blue-based combo decks just too good at being able to protect themselves. In order to avoid this, the new Force of Negation states that the alternative cost can only be paid when it isn't your turn, making it better at disrupting opponents' threats and main phase answers than protecting your own combos. I think this is a wonderful trade-off and a good in-between between your standard counterspells and the free stuff like Force of Will. I think it's obvious that this card will see some play, fitting quite nicely into any blue control strategy that can offset the card disadvantage that this card creates. It is only 3 mana and hard cast as well, making it have an upside over Force of Will, which means it could even see play in Legacy as a 5th, 6th or 7th copy of Force of Will for the decks that really want it. The downside of it being a negate over a strict versatile counterspell of any spell type isn't actually that big, in my opinion. It means that it won't be omnipresent, and it's not just replacing Force in some decks, but it counters important spells, Scapeshift, Ad Nauseams, Planeswalkers, Lotus Blooms, Past in Flames, Aether Files, and even, in a pinch, removal spells and burn spells. Blue-white control decks like Jeskai, for example, are gonna love this, and maybe it would help a deck like Merfolk having much better combo matchup, even if it's just having 4 copies in the sideboard. This is exciting, it is fresh, it is new, and it's innovative in terms of design space as well, and I'm actually really happy to see this over Force coming into Modern. Now, I know I personally asked for Force 4 in my 5 or 6 things I want to see in Modern Horizons, but I'll take this. This is a perfectly good sort of middle ground between Force of Will and your traditional counter magic, and I think it's fucking awesome. Merchant just revealed his spoiler card over on Twitter with an Ice Fang Coatl, which is so close to being a Baleful Strix it's kind of scary. A flash flying snow snake that draws a card when it ETBs, and if you control 3 other snow permanents, not including itself, but 3 other snow permanents, it has Death Touch. Now, how good the rest of the snow permanents in the set are is yet to be seen, and will determine how good this card's going to be, but if we get some form of snow dual lands, this card is going to be fucking legit. Now, I'm not saying we can get like original snow duels, like snow covered underground sea. They can't do that because functional reprints, so close like legendary or snow versions of the original reprints, still breach the whole reserve list thing. If they fucked off the reserve list, would be okay, but Wizards aren't going to do that. But what about shock lands, or like bolt lands? They come into play and they bolt you unless you control 2 other snow permanents, or they can complete the Amonkhet cycle, the cycling lands, because cycling's part of this set, as we've seen, and they can be snow type. Any of those things would be wicked. A boy can dream. On topic of Snowlands, I need to mention each of these beautiful full art Snowlands that will be in the packs. The foils of these are going to be worth a good few bucks, so get ready to chase these. Beautiful art by my boy Titus Lunter. He has given us wistful, beautiful vistas, which according to some of his tweets, going into the methodology behind making these, create what he calls a vertical zoom panorama, with each land showing another one on its horizon. And to quote him, if not in actual shape, then in identical colours and value. The clearest example of this is across these snow-covered plains. We can see the spires of the ice pillars in the island artwork in the distance. I love it when cards have panoramas, the Kamigawa lands as we've seen in the past, some of the Amonkhet and like Zendikar lands too I think had those sort of things. To have this unique version of that where we could like pan back and see sort of Vista over curvature of an Earth, because Earth isn't flat, kids, I hate to break that to you. Over the curvature of an Earth, it's fucking awesome, I love it. Finally, last but not least, we have Prismatic Vista that was revealed literally as I was writing up some notes for this video. A new fetch land at rare that gets any basic land type untapped with paying 1 life. This card is very, very good at rare. It's going to be worth a few bob. It's an incredible alternative and a commander staple for sure. It means I can play 1 less non-green fetch and touch over, for example, and just go fetch up a forest or an island with it. Will it impact elsewhere? Probably not. It feels like a budget alternative, or it might be playable in a 2-color Blood Moon or Back to Basics build in Modern and Legacy respectively, unless Back to Basics randomly shows up in this set, which I would think was hilarious, but other people probably wouldn't enjoy. So with a fixed Strix, a fixed Cabal Therapy, what else we get fixed here? A fixed Force, I'm just waiting for us to fix Stoneforge Mystic, or a fixed Wasteland. Come on, Wizards! Give it to me! Give it to me now! Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more Modern Horizon hype throughout the week and gameplay as always. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. Please like the video, share it with your friends if they haven't seen the spoilers yet. Maybe they'll get fucking hyped about the new fetch line for the commander deck. Maybe they'll get fucking hyped for the new Force of Will thing that isn't quite Force of Will. What do you think of the new spoilers? Are you excited? So far, have Modern Horizons lived up to your expectations? Or are you like, what the fuck is this shit? Comment down below and I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.
Everybody